My cooking style is rustic. It's in your face, it's simple, delicious flavors with a little twist. I'm Chef Esdras Ochoa, and to me, cooking is inspirational. It should be fun. It should be a great opportunity to hang out with your friends and family. So I'm gonna show you some simple upgrades that will ease and elevate your weeknight dinners. Once you master the basics, you will have more time to hang out with your family and friends and less time in the kitchen. So I travel a lot because of work, and I fell in love with these classic Japanese katsu sandwiches. The original katsu sandwich is a deep-fried pork delicious cutlet. Today we're gonna do things a little bit different. We're gonna marinate a tenderloin. It's gonna be lighter, it's gonna be healthier, and it's still gonna have that natural crunch from the cabbage and fennel slaw. So you start by making your homemade tonkatsu sauce. Here we have a red onion, cut it in half, and we're gonna rough chop it. Cut it right in the middle. And we're gonna place this in our pan because we're gonna reduce it with 2 beers from Stella Artois. So here we got some red onion. We're gonna have some star anise, and it's gonna add a little bit of a licorice flavor to the sauce. It's gonna line it up, and it's gonna give us some fragrance to it as well. The secret touch to this recipe, we're gonna do some agave syrup. We're gonna do about 1/3 of a cup. So agave syrup is a sweetener. It's a totally different approach than using just the classic brown sugar. So we're gonna give it 2 beers. Pour it inside. So by adding these 2 beers, it's gonna give it a totally different profile than the classic traditional tonkatsu sauce. Personally, I like this sauce a lot better than the classic one. This one, you're gonna get a lot of hoppiness from the beer going into the sauce with the agave, the smokiness from the chipotle peppers, and the star anise lights everything up. So now we're gonna turn this on, high heat. So we're gonna reduce this for about 30 minutes till it reduces to half while we get the rest of the stuff ready. Now we're gonna get our blender, and we're gonna throw in our chipotle sauce. We can add about 1/4 of a cup of that. So chipotle sauce, adobo peppers are very smoky, and for you guys that don't know, it's actually jalapenos. We're gonna add some Worcestershire sauce. Now this is gonna add a little bit of a vinegary flavor to it. It's gonna create a whole different element to the sauce. We're gonna salt the sauce, give it some little flavor with the oyster sauce. Last but not least, something we all love, ketchup. The ketchup, what it's gonna do is gonna bind the whole sauce. So now we're gonna grab the reduction over here. We're gonna take out the star anise. There we go. And we're gonna combine both of these bad boys in the blender. Ooh. Wow, this is very, very pungent. It's sweet, it's smoky. It's got the characteristics of a barbecue sauce with some spice. You know, the star anise is coming out. And we're gonna blend this full blast for about 10 to 15 seconds. So now we have a smooth sauce. Open it up, take a big whiff. That's exactly what I'm looking for. Make sure everything's covered up. Here we go. So in this case, we're using the tenderloin instead of the traditional Japanese pork cutlet. It's a different twist, a little bit healthier. I chose tenderloin because it's got a beefy flavor and it goes perfectly with the barbecue sauce. So we're gonna marinate it thoroughly, make sure to rub it all over the place onto the tenderloin. Our pan is piping hot, it's ready to go. We got a little bit of cooking oil in there. We're gonna toss in our tenderloin. And that's exactly what you wanna hear. You wanna hear that sear going on. And you know what? We're not even gonna miss the fried flavor. We're gonna add the crunch from the fennel and cabbage slaw, and it's gonna be healthier at the end of the day. So it sounds amazing, it smells amazing, but check this out. We're gonna flip it around. And it looks amazing. Check out this crust, this sear. The sugars from the agave syrup, from the ketchup, the sauces, they combine with the juices of the steak, and it creates this beautiful crust. You're gonna reduce the heat a little bit, make it do it nice and slow, and it looks like we're almost there. Now we're gonna take it out, we're gonna let it rest. All the juices are gonna redistribute inside of the protein, and now we're gonna work on our cabbage and fennel slaw. We got 2 types of cabbage, the red and the green. And we got our fennel. The fennel's gonna bring a little bit of a freshness to the classic slaw. It's gonna go really, really well with the sandwich as well. So depending on how crunchy you want it, is how thin or how thick you wanna cut your veggies here. I want it nice and crispy. I want a nice bite to my sandwich. There you go, put that aside. Now we're gonna go on to our red cabbage. I would say about the same thickness. You want the crispiest part of the cabbage, which is right in the center. We're gonna work on the sauce for the rest of the slaw. So So this is a delicious mustard that we work with. We use a mustard powder. We use a little bit of the beer. Season it up a little bit. Put a little bit of vinegar in there. So I personally prefer Japanese mayo. It has a little citrus flavor to it, more than the traditional one. For our beer mustard sauce, we have obviously beer. We have a little bit of mustard powder, English mustard powder. We have some vinegar, salt, a little bit of sugar, and a dash of pepper. We're gonna add the rest of the components to this. This on the side. Here we go. Put it in there, you're gonna mix it up. And remember guys, this is the crunchy components of the katsu sando. Nice and crisp, nice and fresh. Put it on the side. Now let's go on to our steak. It's been resting for about 5 to 10 minutes. The juices have been redistributed. It's perfectly ready to go. Let's check this out, get a good feel for it. It's exactly how I want it. So we're going about 1 inch thick on the steak. Bam, here you go. Nice and red in the middle. You got the crust all around the steak. The sauce is covering it all up. You got a toasted brioche over here. I personally like I like it heavy on the slaw. It's a nice big thick piece of steak. Right on top, there you go. Last but not least, the star of the show is our tonkatsu sauce. Here we go. Now remember, this sauce is very sweet, it's smoky, it's spicy as well. And it's all hugged together by this amazing brioche bun. Don't be shy with this. Put it all over the place. If you happen to have some fries right next to it, dump it all over your fries. Let's give it a try. Taste this. Here we go. Our steak sandwich with cabbage and fennel slaw is quick and easy, and it's definitely gonna impress your friends. It is the perfect sandwich for your summer nights.